Story 1. The Gallery of Shadows. Once, in the heart of a forgotten town, there stood an imposing structure that cast a long, eerie shadow over the cobblestone streets. The people whispered of its dark history, a tale woven with mystery and fear. This ominous edifice was known as the Ravenmoor Museum, a place that harbored secrets darker than the night that enveloped it. As the moon hung low in the inky sky, a lone curator named Evelyn found herself alone within the museum's ancient halls. She was tasked with cataloging a new acquisition, the mysterious collection of an eccentric millionaire, Sir Malcolm Blackthorne. The artifacts arrived in crates shrouded in a palpable aura of malevolence, yet curiosity got the better of Evelyn. The museum was a labyrinth of forgotten relics and arcane exhibits. The air grew heavy as Evelyn delved deeper into the shadows, the only company being the echoes of her own footsteps. Portraits of long-forgotten faces stared down from the walls, their eyes following her every move. The centerpiece of Sir Malcolm's collection was an ornate mirror said to be cursed by a vengeful spirit. Legend spoke of a sorrowful maiden trapped within its glass, her mournful wails haunting those who dared to gaze into its depths. Despite the warnings, Evelyn couldn't resist the allure of the mirror's enigmatic presence. As she stood before it, the room plunged into an unnatural darkness, and a chill swept through the air. The mirror seemed to come alive, reflecting twisted images of a distorted reality. A voice whispered through the shadows, speaking forgotten tongues that sent shivers down Evelyn's spine. Determined to unravel the mystery, Evelyn continued her exploration. The museum seemed to breathe with a life of its own, the exhibits pulsating with an otherworldly energy. Taxidermied creatures stirred in their glass cases, their glassy eyes following her like spectral sentinels. The further Evelyn ventured, the more the museum revealed its dark secrets. Haunting whispers echoed through the halls, telling tales of a cursed past and the tormented souls that lingered within. Each step felt like a descent into a nightmare, the line between reality and the supernatural blurring with every passing moment. The paintings on the walls began to bleed, their vivid colors melting into a grotesque tableau of horror. Figures emerged from the canvases, reaching out with spectral hands that seemed to claw at the fabric of reality. Evelyn, paralyzed by fear, witnessed the museum transform into a nightmarish carnival of the macabre. As the clock struck midnight, a malevolent force seized control of the museum. The artifacts, once lifeless, now danced in a spectral symphony, their ghostly forms twirling through the darkness. Unseen footsteps echoed alongside Evelyn's, and an invisible presence whispered her name, its tone both seductive and sinister. In a desperate attempt to escape the growing madness, Evelyn stumbled upon a hidden chamber, the heart of the Ravenmoor Museum. There she discovered an ancient tome that revealed the museum's unholy origins. It spoke of a cursed pact made by the town's founders, binding their souls to the very walls of the structure. With each passing generation, the museum fed on the fear and suffering of those who entered its halls, growing stronger and more malevolent. Evelyn, realizing the truth, understood that the only way to break the curse was to confront the vengeful spirits that dwelled within. Armed with newfound knowledge and trembling resolve, Evelyn faced the haunted specters that materialized before her. Through a harrowing confrontation, she unraveled the threads of the curse, laying to rest the tortured souls trapped within the museum's confines. As dawn broke, the Ravenmoor Museum stood silent, its dark history finally exposed to the light. Evelyn emerged, changed by the night's horrors, the weight of the museum's secrets etched into her very soul. The townsfolk, oblivious to the malevolence that once gripped their town, continued their lives, unaware of the nightmarish gallery that had lurked in their midst. And so, the Ravenmoor Museum returned to its quiet, foreboding slumber, waiting for the next unsuspecting soul to unlock its secrets and awaken the Gallery of Shadows once more. Story 2. Whispers of the Ancients. In the heart of a forgotten city, nestled amidst fog-shrouded streets, the Eldritch Museum stood as a relic of ages long past. Its ornate architecture bore witness to the passage of time, and its towering spires loomed ominously against the pale glow of the moon. For centuries, This mysterious museum housed artifacts from civilizations lost to history, drawing the curious and the brave into its shadowy embrace. Sarah, an ambitious archaeologist with an insatiable curiosity, received an invitation to explore the Eldritch Museum's hidden vaults, an opportunity whispered about in hushed tones among her colleagues. As she stepped through the grand entrance, an uneasy chill gripped her, and the echo of her footsteps resonated through the cavernous halls. The first exhibit she encountered was an ancient sarcophagus, adorned with hieroglyphs that seemed to writhe with an ethereal energy. As she approached, the lid shifted, emitting a ghostly creak. Sarah hesitated, her breath catching in her throat, but curiosity prevailed, and she lifted the lid to reveal a perfectly preserved mummy. Its eyes, though lifeless, seemed to fixate on her with an unsettling intensity. As Sarah delved deeper into the museum's secrets, she uncovered a room filled with ancient masks from forgotten civilizations. Each mask bore a distinct expression, some serene, others twisted in agony. The air thickened with an oppressive aura as the masks whispered tales of ancient rites and long-forgotten gods. Sarah felt an unseen presence lingering behind her, shadows coalescing into indistinct shapes that retreated as she turned to face them. The museum's corridors seemed to shift and warp, leading Sarah through a maze of exhibits that defied the laws of time and space. An unsettling lullaby, soft and haunting, echoed through the halls. It drew her towards an exhibit of a cursed music box, its melodies resonating with the sorrows of ages past. As the notes danced through the air, ghostly apparitions twirled in a spectral waltz, their eyes pleading for release from their eternal dance. In the heart of the Eldritch Museum, Sarah discovered a forbidden chamber housing an artifact of unspeakable power, a crystal said to capture the essence of the departed. As she approached, the room plunged into darkness, and the air became thick with the presence of restless spirits. The crystal pulsed with an otherworldly light, revealing apparitions trapped within its crystalline prison, their silent screams echoing in Sarah's mind. Driven by a compulsion she couldn't resist, Sarah touched the crystal, and a surge of malevolent energy coursed through her veins. The spirits, freed from their crystalline confines, surrounded her with ethereal whispers, their voices blending into a cacophony of anguish and despair. The museum itself seemed to tremble as if awakening from a dormant slumber. As the veil between the living and the dead blurred, Sarah realized the price of her curiosity. The spirits, once confined to the Eldritch Museum, sought liberation through her vessel. Desperate to escape the encroaching darkness, she raced through the shifting corridors, pursued by the tormented wails of the ancients. In her frantic flight, Sarah stumbled upon an ancient ritual chamber adorned with forbidden symbols. With a surge of realization, she understood that only by completing a ritual of appeasement could she banish the spirits back to the netherworld. The ceremony unfolded in a haze of incense and arcane chants, the museum pulsating with an otherworldly energy. As the last words of the incantation left her lips, the Eldritch Museum quivered and the spirits receded into the shadows from whence they came. The air cleared, and the oppressive atmosphere lifted. Sarah, drained but triumphant, emerged into the cool night air, the ancient museum standing silent and still behind her. The Eldritch Museum returned to its slumber, its secrets once again veiled in darkness. Sarah, forever marked by the harrowing encounter, left with the weight of the ancients' whispers etched into her soul, a constant reminder of the thin veil that separates the living from the realms beyond. And so, the Eldritch Museum awaited the next curious soul to unlock its arcane mysteries and awaken the echoes of the past. Story 3: The Curator's Enigma. Nestled at the outskirts of a forgotten town, the Mysterium Arcanum Museum loomed over the landscape like a relic from another era. Its grand facade, adorned with gargoyles and ivy-covered archways, hinted at the arcane wonders hidden within. The townsfolk spoke in hushed tones about the mysterious curator, a recluse known only as Elias Blackthorn, whose fascination with the occult fueled the museum's enigmatic collection. One stormy night, lightning cracked across the sky as Emily, an ambitious historian seeking to uncover the secrets of the occult, received an invitation to the Mysterium Arcanum Museum. The ornate card, sealed with an otherworldly sigil, beckoned her into the heart of the unknown. Intrigued and undeterred by the raging tempest, Emily stepped into the museum's dimly lit foyer. As she ventured deeper, the air grew thick with an arcane energy. The exhibits seemed to watch her with a silent intensity, their artifacts exuding an unsettling presence. The first room she entered held a collection of ancient scrolls, their inscriptions in languages long forgotten. Whispers of forgotten incantations resonated through the air, and the scrolls glowed with an ethereal light that revealed glimpses of otherworldly realms. Emily's path led her to an exhibit of cursed relics, each with a tale of tragedy and misfortune. A cursed dagger, said to be wielded by a vengeful spirit, cast an ominous shadow that seemed to dance on the walls. The air grew colder as Emily noticed phantom footsteps trailing her every move, the unseen specter of the dagger's former owner, lurking in the shadows. In the heart of the museum, Emily discovered a chamber dedicated to an ancient and forbidden ritual. The room pulsated with an otherworldly energy as she deciphered cryptic symbols on the floor. A foreboding mural depicted a spectral figure surrounded by lost souls, their eyes pleading for release from an eternal torment. Drawn deeper into the enigma, Emily found herself face to face with a colossal mirror, its frame adorned with intricate carvings. As she gazed into the reflective surface, the room melted away, and she found herself standing in an otherworldly realm. Shadows danced on the periphery, and the mirror whispered of alternate dimensions and the cosmic horrors that lurked beyond. Elias Blackthorne, the elusive curator, appeared before Emily as a shadowy figure cloaked in mystery. His eyes, pools of darkness, bore into her soul as he revealed the museum's true purpose, a gateway to realms unseen by mortal eyes. The artifacts housed within were not mere curiosities. They were conduits to eldritch forces that defied comprehension. As the revelation unfolded, the museum itself seemed to awaken, its walls pulsating with an otherworldly heartbeat. The exhibits twisted and contorted, taking on monstrous forms that lurched towards Emily. Desperation gripped her as she fled through the shifting corridors, pursued by the spectral manifestations of the artifacts she had dared to disturb. In her frantic escape, Emily stumbled upon a forgotten chamber containing a dusty tome bound in leather that whispered forbidden knowledge. With trembling hands, she recited an incantation that echoed through the museum. The air crackled with energy as the eldritch forces recoiled, their power waning with each verse. As the final words left her lips, the Mysterium Arcanum Museum convulsed, and the unearthly energies dissipated into the void. Emily emerged from the museum, shaken and forever changed by the eldritch encounter. The storm had subsided, and the museum stood silent, its mysteries once again veiled in shadows. Elias Blackthorne, the elusive curator, remained an enigma, his true nature lost in the depths of the occult. The Mysterium Arcanum Museum, though seemingly dormant, continued to beckon to those who sought the forbidden knowledge hidden within its walls. And so the town remained on the edge of the unknown, the museum standing as a testament to the thin veil that separates reality from the mysteries that lurk in the shadows.